welcome back to Kasheera TV. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my breastfeeding journey, what it has been like, all the things that I've gone through. I stuck it out, and I'm still breastfeeding Makai. He is 11 months. He's going to be a year. He's going to be 1 next month, October 10th. I can't even believe it. Like, a whole year has already gone by. But it's been the most amazing and awesome year of my entire life. Of our entire lives, yes. So yeah, so I just wanted to share with you guys what it's been like from the beginning to now. Alright, so let me just jump in and start with what I knew about breastfeeding before having Makai. Absolutely nothing. I knew absolutely nothing about breastfeeding. I'm actually like kind of kicking myself because I did not do any research. I always thought I'd be the type of person that as soon as I found out I got pregnant that I would like research everything, and I didn't. Like, I was chilling my whole pregnancy. I didn't look into anything. I mean, I looked into some things. I don't want to say I didn't research anything, but like, breastfeeding is not something that I looked into. Now, my thoughts beforehand about breastfeeding, I was under the impression that because my breasts were small that I probably wouldn't be able to breastfeed. Like, I just thought that somehow that natural part of my body just wouldn't work because I had small breasts. I thought you had bigger breasts and you could breastfeed. Don't ask me why I thought this. I don't know where these thoughts came from. I just don't know. But anyway, so the day I gave birth to Makai, a few hours later, of course, they wanted me to try to get him to latch on, and that was a whole process. Like, it was actually a little tough in the beginning because when they latch on, it's uncomfortable. It hurts a little. It hurts. But it's almost like your nipple has to get used to it, because I know after a while it didn't feel like anything. It's like natural. But in the beginning, it was kind of painful. And the funny thing is I was really, even though I didn't know much about breastfeeding, I was already like determined that like I'm doing this. So even though it hurt, every time he would like go to latch, I would just brace myself like, okay, he's on. Like, I would just kind of brace myself. But then the lactation consultants come in. They're like, this is how it's supposed to feel. They say it shouldn't hurt. Just gotta get him to latch right. I'm like, okay. So in the beginning, you're figuring out the whole positioning and trying to get them to go on the right way. So that was interesting. Then also, guys, my milk didn't officially come in till like I think 2 days later, and all babies, they're supposed to get rid of this chemical called bilirubin. If they don't get rid of it fast, then they could become jaundice. And so Makai's bilirubin levels were high, and so because he had jaundice, they wanted me to supplement with formula. This was like, I believe, the second day. So yeah, so the first 2 days I was feeding him at the breast, but I didn't really see anything come out, so I was already feeling a little inadequate then. Like, I don't know if I can breastfeed, no milk's coming out, like, what's wrong with you boobs? That's exactly how I was feeling. I was feeling, and also, guys, I told you my healing process was just, oh my gosh, I was in pain. So I was already just in a funky mood. Like, I was sore, everything was sore, breastfeeding hurt. Then I didn't see any milk coming out, so that didn't make me feel any better. And so then they wanted me to supplement with formula, so that was like a big blow to my breastfeeding confidence. And I didn't even know that I could have been like, no, I don't want to give him formula. Like, I just did what they recommended. I just did what they recommended. And I actually kind of regret that decision, just because I feel like me giving him formula at such an early age may have contributed to his eczema issues, because, you know, formula has all kinds of different ingredients. Milk, soy, who knows? I mean, I don't know. Formula has a lot of ingredients. So, you know, to me, it doesn't really make sense to give a newborn those things so soon, just because, like, if they tell you to wait to introduce certain things to a baby, then why would you give newborns all those different ingredients and formula? I don't know, that just doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, I gave him formula, and because we were feeding him formula, I was kind of just like, my mindset then was just like, whatever, like, we're giving him formula, like, what's the point of even trying to breastfeed again? Like, we're already giving him formula. Like, that's what I was thinking. And so the nurses kept coming in like, do you think you want to try to breastfeed him again? I'm like, no. I was so defeated, you guys. I was just like, I don't know, like, nah, we're already giving him formula. Like, anyway, so finally my milk came in that night. But guys, this is the worst part. Like, even though my boobs got like a lot bigger and they were sore, I was like, I don't know what's happening to my boobs. Like, they're so like sore. And I didn't even think, like, Kasheera, they're filled with milk. You have to feed your baby to empty them. Now that process just seems so common sense to me. But in the beginning, I'm like, I don't know what my breasts are doing. They're just sore. I don't see no milk coming out. Anyway, so yeah, my milk did come in, and then one of the nurses recommended that I pump. So when I pumped and I saw the milk coming out, I was like, oh my gosh, I have milk. But that kind of reboosted my confidence a little bit. So that's when I felt like, okay, I'll feed him, I'll pump for him, and then we'll supplement with formula too. So we were kind of doing both in the hospital, and we stayed an extra 3 days because of the jaundice. He had to stay under these lights. We couldn't really hold him that much because they were like, no, he needs to stay under the lights. I also questioned that as well, because I feel like he would have naturally, his jaundice levels would have went down without the lights. Right. So anyway, so yeah, he had to stand under the lights so that the bilirubin, it could help the bilirubin levels go down. So eventually the bilirubin levels did go down, and we were able to go home. But since we were supplemented with formula, when I was already kind of planning, like, whatever, we'll just give him formula. Like, I was already still not sure if I could provide my baby with the milk that he needs. I was unsure about my supply, about if I could do this every day. Like, my breast is just gonna make all this milk every day. Like, what? So I wish I would have learned a lot more about breastfeeding. And turns out newborns don't even need that much. Like, they literally don't need that much at all in the beginning. So even though those first 2 days I wasn't really seeing much, he was probably getting colostrum, which, you know, is sufficient for them in those early days. So I think next time, obviously, I'm not going to let them talk me into supplementing with formula. I'm just going to breastfeed him. I have a lot more confidence, going into the second time. Well, we want to have more kids. Right, so, but when we got home, like I was telling you guys, I was going to keep using formula, but then my boobs were like so full, and I was like, I gotta empty these boobs. So I just started breastfeeding him, and then I just kept breastfeeding him, and then it was like, yeah, I can do this. So just breastfeeding him, guys, I'm not gonna lie, from the very beginning, I was worried about my supply. Like, from the very beginning, even when my boobs now, they don't get engorged, they were engorged. So I don't know why I was worried about my milk supply when they were that engorged in the beginning. But I was. So I was taking fenugreek. I started taking fenugreek capsules a lot, like, because you can take like 6 a day. I was taking probably like 3 a day. I started smelling like maple syrup. Yeah, that. And then I started getting this, like, I started having like constipation issues. He was starting to be affected. He was like extremely gassy, and it was just upsetting his stomach, so I stopped. But then I was still constipated for a while, so I wasn't sure if it was fenugreek, but I didn't want to like chance it and start back on that. I took all kinds of stuff: the mother's milk tea, brewer's yeast, oatmeal, all the things that they recommend for increasing your milk supply. I was taking all that in the beginning. And like I said, guys, my boobs were like way bigger than they are right now, so I did not need to worry about my milk supply. So anyway, I kind of breastfed him through growth spurts. Oh my gosh, all the growth spurts were like so intense because literally felt like I had literally no milk for him, and he'd be like wanting more, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have that, my milk supply, like I'm not making enough, like what's wrong with me? Just a growth spurt. He would eat like every 30 minutes. That's how fast he would eat. So guys, a lot of times sometimes I did supplement with formula just because I was like, I don't want him to be starving. But knowing what I know now, guys, I'm like, wait, say if he's hungry and he's at the breast and he's just trying to get milk, that's good because that's going to tell my body to make more milk. I don't know why I supplemented with formula, but now I have so much more knowledge and experience to kind of just be confident through those times, the growth spurts, and just when I'm feeling like my body's not doing what it needs to do. It is doing what it needs to do. I just gotta have that trust in my own body, that my body knows what's up. Right, guys? So then I was starting to think that my milk supply was affected by my eating. So I started eating more like chicken and pancakes every day. He had eczema, y'all, and like I was thinking that the food was affecting his eczema, and it is. But yeah, I had to breastfeed him through that and trying to figure out what was causing his allergies and if he had some kind of food sensitivity that made him itchy. So I still powered through it. I cut out a lot, guys. I went on the total elimination diet because I don't know about everybody else's baby, but other moms, they can eat whatever and their baby's fine. Makai, he was so sensitive to everything that I was eating. I stopped eating gluten. He started sleeping better. And then I stopped eating gluten, guys, and my own eczema issues went away. So I could have a gluten sensitivity that I just never knew about. So guys, I breastfed him through all of this, and now I am not worried about my milk supply. I'm just like, just whatever. Just if you hungry, you can sit here and try to get as much milk as you want. You can try. So yeah, but I'm happy that I stuck with it, you know. A lot of the women in my family, they didn't breastfeed their kids, so I couldn't really get too much support from them. And you know, naturally they feel like they formula fed, then they're like, why do you want to breastfeed? Like, why? A lot of the comments that I got from that were like kind of negative was actually from my own family, and they probably don't even realize that it came across as negative, but it was like questions like, you like breastfeeding? Or like, don't just pop your boob out, nobody want to see that. Like, I'm like, I'm not gonna just, you know what? Or even now that he's about to be 1, I know I'm gonna be getting questions like, how long are you gonna breastfeed for? And like, even from you guys, like, I mean, you know, what's normal in society is what, maybe up to a year, but you can breastfeed longer than a year. So I plan on doing it as long as possible. I know that he is sensitive to a lot of things, and I feel like the immunological benefits are amazing. So they still get all the nutrients and stuff. So like, if he still wants to, then of course I'm gonna keep breastfeeding him. So yeah, we'll see. And I'm just gonna go with what feels natural, you know. If he still wants to breastfeed, I'm not gonna like try to wean him if that's not what he wants to do, because like I said, the benefits are still there, so it just makes sense to me. But right, guys, so that has been my breastfeeding journey up until this point. There are still some things that I've cut out from my diet just because I feel like it's affecting him. So I'm still kind of slowly introducing him to things. Like the other day, he's eating solid foods now, like finger foods, pureed foods. And the other day we gave him blueberries, and then his eyes were puffy later that day. Like, his eyes are never puffy. And so I was like, Mark, what did we do different? We gave him blueberries for the first time. So it seems that Makai might be sensitive to things. So I have to watch him, watch what we give him, and then watch how he reacts. Like I said, chocolate, blueberries. I don't know if it's an allergy. I have to go back and get another allergy test because we got the first one really early. But yeah, it's been an amazing experience, and like I said, I'm happy that I stuck with it, and just the bond and the closeness, and it's like his comfort, you know. It's, if he's crying, you know, just put him to the boob and he stops crying. So I really hope that some of you guys, if you can, breastfeed, and I think it's amazing. And now I know so much more, and like I just want to encourage other black women to breastfeed, or other women in general, just because like, just in my family, nobody was like, yeah, you should breastfeed. They were like, you breastfeed? Like, what's that? So I don't know, it just seemed weird. They were like not down. It's not seen as cool to breastfeed. It's like, why are you doing that when you could just give your baby like formula? So I don't want that to, you know, I want to promote just breastfeeding, because like the milk that we make is made for our babies. It's made for them. It's like exactly the perfect food for them. So yeah, so I'm going to encourage more black women to breastfeed their babies and be confident. And if you got any questions, you can ask me. I can just help you based on my experience. I'm not an expert, but yeah. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and let me know what your experience, your breastfeeding experience has been like. Anything you want to share in the comment sections below. Also, make sure you subscribe to my channel if you are new here, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you guys. Peace out.